My name is Pat Murray, and I'm President and CEO of Bristol County Savings Bank. But today, I have the greatest job as President of the Bristol County Savings Charitable Foundation as well, because we're going to give out some big checks here in a few minutes. But before we do that, I'd just like to introduce a few people from the bank and a few people from the foundation that are with us this afternoon. And first of all, from the bank, always introduce my boss first. I learned that a long time ago, and that's the chairperson of our board of directors, Cody. So we're here today at our Ashley Boulevard branch, and that's, I think, the first time I've introduced it as the Ashley Boulevard branch, because I used to introduce it as the New Bedford branch. But I can't do that anymore, because we now have 3 branches in New Bedford, and I think that really shows the commitment that Bristol County Savings Bank has to become a part of the New Bedford community, and I think we're helping out a little bit with that again this afternoon. A few people from the bank that are here today. First of all, our newest addition to the bank, and that's our regional branch administrator, David Medeiros. I don't see Carrie, but hopefully she's in her office opening accounts. And, and that's Carrie Timms, who is our senior customer service representative behind closed doors there. And probably a fixture to New Bedford's, probably somebody that doesn't need any introduction, born and raised here, right, Pete? And that's our senior vice president of commercial lending, Pete Sully. Also, a couple more commercial lenders that we have down here. So this isn't an advertisement or marketing, but if any of you need a loan, these are the people to talk to. And that's Roger Cabral and Jack Silva, both vice presidents here at the bank. And also a resident of the South Coast area, and he heads up our residential lending area, and that's our vice president, Nelson Braga. Senior vice president, excuse me. Now, really back to the people that make the decisions, and we've got a good group down here South Coast Advisory Board that really help the bank make the decisions as to where the money from the foundation is actually going to go to. So these are the people that you really want to say thank you to, because there were a lot of applications once again this go around. There were some very, very tough decisions that had to be made, but your application stood out, and the things that you're doing in the community stood out, and these are the people that are really helping us make those decisions. First of all, our chairperson of the South Coast Advisory Board, Dr. G. McCormick. Also with us today from the South Coast Advisory Board is Joe Norman and Richard LaFrance. Those that could not join us this afternoon but also sit on the board are Corrine Santos, Jim Karam, Jerry Coogan, and Maureen Sylvia Armstrong. So what do they all have in common? They live and work right here in the South Coast. Bristol County Savings Bank is headquartered up in Taunton, and we've thought it was extremely important that as we branch out into new markets, that we actually get people that live and work right here in your community to help us decide where the money is going to do the great charitable work that all of you are doing. But now some of the people that are actually behind the scenes, and one guy that you probably want to get to know a little bit, he's the guy that signs the checks. He's Chief Financial Officer at the bank, but he's also Treasurer of the Foundation, and that's Dennis Leahy. And also Clerk of the Foundation since day one, Michelle Roberts. Michelle is also Executive Vice President of Bristol County Savings Bank, and she's got a great job. Her title is Community Relations Officer. So she's out, and she's probably she's never in her office, so don't try to call her. She will call you back, but she's out in the community all the time. But the two people here to my right, too, and these are the ones that are really the meat and potatoes, if you will, and they both work in our marketing department at the bank, but they really are the gears, if you will, of the Charitable Foundation. That's Kathy Mulhern and Michelle Farrier. So I talked a little bit about how we make decisions and who makes those decisions, but one of the things that Michelle and I try to do is we get down to the city and actually into the mayor's office at least a couple times a year, because who knows better the community and the needs of the community but the mayor. And I've got to say that, John, it's been a real pleasure working with you the last 2 years. He's brought a lot of insight into Bristol County Savings Bank as to the needs of the community, and I'm very, very proud that we're able to help you out a little bit. And with that, I'd like to introduce the Mayor of the City of New Bedford, Jon Mitchell. You're welcome.
I have to say that, Pat, I admire you as a chief executive. The bank is growing. It's growing in every respect in terms of locations, and it's growing in terms of deposits, in terms of commercial lending. But I know you love the Santa Claus role the most of all the things you do. So, and I'm happy to help, especially when you're bringing gifts down in Greater New Bedford. But in all seriousness, so you guys ask me to do this a lot, and I show up every time because I really do appreciate what you guys do for the community. And there are needs across the board, but your approach to bank, you stand behind your word. Bristol County Savings Bank really is a terrific corporate citizen. It is a local bank in the great tradition of local banking in the United States, going back to really the 19th century. People forget, in an era of larger banks that make very distant and impersonal decisions, that a lot of times what people want out of their banks is a feeling of trust. And the only way to achieve that is to be close to the people you deal with directly. And you guys build that into your business model. You preach that gospel and you stand by it. And so I just want you to know that we appreciate the way you do business in our community, and it does make a difference. So these, the checks that you're handing out today are not just handouts. They go to organizations that are producing benefits, very tangible benefits to our community, whether it's the zoo, whether it's AHA, or any of the other organizations, Dennison Memorial, and the others who are receiving them today. These organizations make our community stronger in their own ways, and so that you're there to stand behind them is truly, to me, something to be grateful for as the mayor. And I think we have local cable here today, and it's appropriate that everybody in the community know that you guys have stepped up and set a great example for businesses across the region. I encourage, I'll say this to the camera, I encourage other businesses to step up and do the same thing, because it pays off not just in terms of a good feeling, but it's also good business. And I think you guys have discovered that as you've grown here and have grown your roots in the community. So we've got a lot of great stuff going on in the city right now, in terms of school reform, in terms of development of new businesses, new industries like offshore wind, the improvements of our municipal services, and the way we manage our affairs. I think for all those reasons, people are feeling good about the place, and it's a good time to be investing in New Bedford. And so I applaud the investment decision that you're making in our community, Pat, and everybody at Bristol County. So with all that, I don't know, you must have your big checks today. I don't know if they come with a big pen too, and one of these days I will try to pass one of them over the counter just to see what happens. But Pat, thanks again.
Mayor, we do have a couple things in common. The mayor's been in office for 20 months, like now 20 months or so, and I've been president of the bank for 18 months. So, but my predecessor, Dennis Kelly, who was chairperson of the Charitable Foundation, was president of the bank for 18 years. And back in 1996, the bank turned 150 years old, and we really wanted to throw ourselves a big birthday party, but instead we decided to throw the community a big birthday party, and we announced the formation of a charitable foundation, and the bank made a $1 million contribution to that foundation back in 1996. Since then, we've contributed another $11 million, and it's over $12 million now that the bank has contributed to the foundation. Now, with that money, obviously, we've set up the foundation. The foundation has assets, and since 1996, we just went over the $10 million mark that the Charitable Foundation has made grants to you, including $2.5 million right here in the South Coast market. So we're extremely proud of that. Today, we are awarding 7 grants totaling $87,500. So thank you very much for putting us over the $10 million mark. We really appreciate it. And Mayor, you're exactly right. It does feel like Santa Claus when you're up here. And this is the best part of my job, believe me. So with us today, we've got 7 organizations, as I said. Many of you have received grants from the foundation in the past. So basically, I'll introduce you, give you the chance to come up and talk a little bit about the use of the proceeds, and give you the chance to tell everybody here, as well as the greater community, as to what you do. Our first recipient this afternoon is the Buttonwood Park Zoological Society, receiving $4,000. With us is business manager Kristen Gray, and member of the board of directors Marion Weiner, and the new director, well, not so new, maybe about 8 months now, is Keith Levitt. So welcome.
Well, obviously, right off the bat, I want to say thank you to Bristol County Savings and Bristol County Savings Charitable Foundation. I'm representing the Buttonwood Zoological Society, which is the not-for-profit arm of the zoo. Of course, we have the zoo and the Zoological Society, which works in tandem. This money that we're receiving today is going to the zoo's educational programs. The Buttonwood Park Zoo is one of the most affordable attractions in all of the South Coast, and one of the great things is that all the school children in New Bedford can come to the zoo free as part of a field trip program. So this funding is actually going to be used for strategic planning. The strategic plan is going to bring community leaders together from the universities, from the superintendent's office, principals, mayor's office, to basically lay the footprint of where the Buttonwood Park Zoo is going in the future with regard to education. Education is our core mission, particularly on the environment and on nature. So by being able to have that strategic plan to really put a blueprint forward to where we're going to go and how we're going to impact the education of children in the community is very important. And we're very excited to use this money for that regard. Thank you.
Let's do one more. Okay, this was fun. That's great. Oh, I love it. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay, our next recipient this afternoon is an organization that we have been able to contribute to in the past, and that's AHA, receiving $2,000. And with us today is the director of AHA, Lee Hield. Hi, Lee.
AHA is New Bedford's Arts and Culture Night. It is every second Thursday, and we've been operating since July of 1999. And so we have been continuously and continually operating. And we always say we are New Bedford's free Arts and Culture Night. But what that really means, as the participating organizations, and we started out with 14, and we now have over 65, the participating organizations really staff, program, contribute, market with us. And then we have corporate partners, people in the community who really step up and support us. And so it's free to the people who come, but it's clearly not free to operate. And so we are always appreciative of the support, and really kind of look forward to our next year. We're kind of interesting in the arts and culture realm, and I have to say this, because we started with the Regional Community Congress in 1997. And it was an effort, I see Chancellor McCormick nodding. It was an effort convened by the Standard Times, and it brought together communities of business, communities of education, communities of faith, communities of health, and communities with arts and cultural interests. And so AHA came out of that kind of understanding and communication and conversation in the community. And so we still really represent all of those communities. We have university support. We have participation from the South Coast Health Systems. We have participation from Bristol Community College. We have participation from churches and communities of faith in New Bedford, as well as the businesses, the boutiques, the arts and cultural establishments, the nonprofits, and private artists. And so we really have been able to think about kind of the new platform in New Bedford and kind of what makes New Bedford new, vibrant, robust, and the place to be. I'm bragging about this because Richard Florida recently wrote an article, it's a year old, but it still is kind of up and coming, that New Bedford is the 7th most wonderful place in the United States, thank you very much, stand up and take a bow, the only town under 100,000 that is considered a hospitable place to live and work if you are in the arts and culture industry and you are a participant. And so I think that we're a little city, but we're very proud of how we're growing and kind of what we're able to do with and for the community. So I think I've said enough, and I'm ready to be done, but we are always appreciative of your support. Okay, brilliant. Go ahead, hold on to this. Can we do a check?
We do, yes.
Lose it?
Our next organization with us this afternoon is the Dennison Memorial Community Center, receiving $5,000. With us this afternoon is Executive Director Sean Hargreaves, Associate Director Joe Neves, and Board Member Janet Pedavino. Very good.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here with Janet Pedavino, who's been on the our board of directors for about 34 years consecutively, and Joe Neves, who's been associate director for almost 30 years. I've been at Dennison for like 32 years, so what we do is we definitely provide stability to hundreds of kids, and over the year to thousands of kids. We began in 1868, so we have a long nonprofit history. Over the years, we've evolved into children, teenage programs, all the way. Traditionally, agencies like ours were like a gymnasium, and you throw a ball out, you go play games, and through these past, say 10 or 15 years, we've gone along with we've seen the academic or the lack of academic progress. We've watched all the statistics. So a load of our programming now goes to our academic excellence program with rewards. Every day we have homework tutors, we have college prep classes, we have 2 computer labs. Really, we had to give, part of the change we had to do was we used to have like a lot of dance and music and let kids kind of go crazy. In our new building, there's so much emphasis on academics that I'm always like turning the radio down. We have homework rooms on the second floor, so we charge $20 per year for children, and that entitles them to a whole year's worth of services. We are the age from first grade through age 16, and we have some children, teenagers, that will stay that I've had forever. We're located on South First Street, which would be the middle of the lowest economic section anywhere. And so we've really focused on the academic excellence program, and that's what we requested in this grant, and we were very happy to be accepted.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Our next organization we just saw a few weeks ago because we funded the same program in 2 of our markets. We funded this program in the Taunton area as well, and that's the Girl Scouts of Eastern Massachusetts receiving $2,000. And with us this afternoon is the grants manager, Jessica Grews, and the annual giving and alumni relations coordinator, Erica Howe. Welcome.
Good afternoon, and on behalf of the Girl Scouts of Eastern Massachusetts, thank you for your continued support of the FAB Factor program. FAB Factor is a research-based after-school program for girls in grades kindergarten through 12. While enrolled in the program, girls have the opportunity to participate in 4 themed series. The themes include financial literacy and business, health and wellness, science, technology, engineering, and math, and leadership development. Your funding will help us support 100 girls in New Bedford, and we're appreciative of your partnership. Thank you.
Okay, now we can do it. All right. That's supposed to be funny, Mr. Cody. Try.
Our next partner this afternoon is an organization that we're getting involved with on many levels, and that's the Women's Fund, today receiving $4,500. And with us today is their development officer, Tracy Calabrese, and their executive director, Kate Fentress. Welcome.
Thank you. On behalf of the Women's Fund, I want to thank Bristol County Savings Bank and the foundation for giving us this grant. Our mission at the Women's Fund is to advance the educational attainment and economic security of women and girls in our region. And the program that they've given us money for is called the Life Work Project, and it's an evidence-based project to provide wraparound services for low-income women who are seeking to leave poverty and reach self-sufficiency through additional education and training. And their money will go towards the financial education piece, because we know that if you want to get out of poverty, you must learn how to manage your money, how to save it, what kinds of financial vehicles to use, and all of the kinds of things that we all take for granted, but a lot of people don't really know anything about. So we're very grateful for this, because we feel that this holistic project with the financial piece and mentoring and all of the things that go with it will really transform these women's lives, and in addition will transform the lives of their children. So thank you so much.
Just maybe before we do the check presentation, just one other note. We're going to have Michelle Roberts come up and announce a new initiative that we are very happy to partner with the Women's Fund with.
Well, considering that you were just talking about this great project, just to let everybody know, we believe in this project so much. Dr. McCormick actually facilitated a meeting of all the local community banks a couple of weeks ago. And this is something that is really, really near and dear to our hearts because of the financial literacy component, because of the economic development factors, and also because of the housing initiatives that you're also putting in place. Those are our 3 key areas. So it hits on every single thing we're trying to make impact with. So, you know, as a result of that, we will be committing an additional $15,000 per year for 3 years to this Life Work project. So we're thrilled to be a part of that. Kate, now you have him speechless. He doesn't.
There you go. See, that was good.
Our next recipient is a group that we have partnered with in the past as well, and that's Our Sisters School, receiving $10,000. And with us today is Galen Ganning, Grants Coordinator, and Sarah Herman, Head of Our Sisters School. Welcome.
So my name is Sarah Herman, and I'm the incoming head at Our Sisters School. And so I'm getting to know the community, and one remarkable thing about being here is recognizing all the partners who we're already working with. The zoo is here, Girl Scouts are here. There may be even other organizations who I have yet to find out that we're working with. And so that's exciting to see the connections that exist. It's a privilege to be able to help this foundation reach their $10 million mark. So thank you for letting us help you. In the past, I know that we have been supported in developing our curriculum, very important in a school initiative. We've been helped by this Bristol County Savings Charitable Foundation in helping develop our secondary school program, so ensuring that the investment that we make in the girls at Our Sisters School leads into excellent continuing education opportunities for the girls. So that's really important. And also, this year, the funds will help us provide enrichment activities for the girls. So opportunities that range from providing tutors to dance, performing arts, music, extra programming that helps them grow personally and, of course, be more competitive when they are looking for their continuing education opportunities. So it's win-win, and their chance to give back to the community as they become more capable themselves is significant. So thank you for helping us help them.
Unbelievable. If I could just keep my bangs out of my eyes.
Okay, you already used that.
I'm running out. Thank you.
Okay, last but definitely not least is another organization that G. McCormick introduced us to. And we are very, very proud to partner with the Catholic Social Services, more specifically, the Sister Rose House. And the foundation has committed $60,000 to their project over the next 3 years. With us today is somebody that we just cannot say no to, and that's Executive Director Arlene McNamee. Arlene.
Well, we're needless to say, extremely grateful and thankful to the foundation and to the bank for their support of this project. This is part of the Sister Rose Network. Those of you that would remember Market Ministries, which merged with Catholic Social Services upon the retirement of Sister Rose Gallagher. Catholic Social Services is the largest provider of services to homeless families and individuals south of Boston. At any given night, we have about 420 people who are in one of our programs, be it in emergency shelter, transitional housing, or permanent housing throughout the South Coast, meaning Taunton, Attleboro, Fall River, and New Bedford. This money will be used to help us move the Sister Rose shelter, which is in horrible disrepair, and we have purchased the St. Hedwig's Church, which is on Division Street, which has been empty for 15 years. We more recently have also put purchase and sale on the building next to it, which just came up for possible sale. It will be the first time in the history of the city that we'll be housing women. Every day we get phone calls from anywhere from 11 to 15 women looking for shelter every single day, and there are no beds in this city. So this will be the first time that this will be available. It will also have a job training site in the lower part of the basement. The food kitchen will be moved to provide a job training site to the guests that are staying with us and provide an opportunity for training. Financial literacy is also part of our mission in terms of getting people ready to be stabilized, and as well as if they need GED or whatever, that also will go on. We're very excited about this project. We think it's not only going to be an enhancement for the program, which is desperately needed. The building gets in, number one, we do not own it, it belongs to the city, and it needs to be repaired, and the cost of it is prohibitive. It's approximately a $1.4 million project that's going on that will, from start to finish, and we think that this is going to be an enhancement also to the neighborhood. We intend to put community gardens in there, which the neighborhood will be able to access. We hope to make it as green as we can make it, and we think this is a win-win for the city, certainly for the people that we serve, and hopefully for our partners as well. So again, we're very, very thankful for this opportunity and for you partnering with us. It's great. Thank you.